How many of you have not seen the Mission Impossible? Just raise your hands. Not seen. So you all have seen Mission Impossible? You all know Ethan Hunt? I was the Ethan Hunt of software testing. And do you know what happens to Ethan Hunt? He gets disowned by their own organization. I've been fired several times as a tester, and I know 16 different ways to get fired. I can write a book about it. So I'm excited about what Mahesh actually spoke about, Ethan Hunt. I was thinking, when I got trained in that kind of thought process about testing, I was thinking this is exactly how testers are supposed to think and do and behave and all of that stuff. But when I really did that, the organizations were not interested. They hired me to execute test cases and automate. So what does an Ethan Hunt do in such cases? He gets fired, right? No, but how? But the good thing is that as the industry is progressing, we are thinking about more intelligent ways of testing and all of that stuff, right? It's interesting that we've been thinking about this, right? Many companies, for me, having been Ethan Hunt, I've been very skeptical about tool companies. So anybody comes and tells me, I'm building an automation tool which is going to save so many hours and so much of money and all of that stuff, I'm like, who really measures that? Have you all measured it? Have you all measured how many manual hours got saved, how many money got saved? Is the organization, when they report the finances, do they say, this extra $300 million came because of test automation? Do they say that? No. So nobody really knows how much money is saved by automation. We talk about it. We talk about it, right? So essentially, for me, what I'm thinking is this. My Ethan Hunt way of survival was that after I got fired in all these places, I had to do something, right? So I wanted to build an organization of many Ethan Hunts and Huntress as well, right? And we built an organization which is now close to 500 people called Moolya. And there what we do is practice this kind of thinking of having multiple Ethan Hunts. And I realize it's absolutely difficult to scale this. Yes or no? Yes, we all want intelligent testers, but it's so damn difficult to scale it, right? And it requires a lot of training, it requires a lot of efforts, towards it. And which is also why, thankfully, what's happening with this AI piece and all of that stuff is giving us an absolute opportunity to complement humans with the ability to think. But I'm going to ask you this question. As all these tools are coming, what's really changing? Why are we so excited about Gen AI? Can anybody answer why are we excited about Gen AI? Why are we excited about Gen AI? Are we excited? Yes or no? Why? Why? Is it going to change our lives? Is it going to change our lives? Like we're going to go home early because of that? No. Okay. What's going to change? What is Gen AI going to change for us? What is it going to change? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? How does it matter, rather? How does it matter? Who does it matter to? Organizations? What matters to them? What matters to them? The growth is the only metric all your organizations truly care about. Yes or no? If there is growth, then there is CSR activity. If there is no growth, there is no CSR activity. So growth is the only super metric that organizations truly, truly care for. Now, I'm asking you this question. Any of the testing that you've seen so far, has anybody been able to map the testing they do to the growth of the organization? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. This fascinated me. This is the reason why over the last 13 years, I've worked on the concept of growth-driven testing. Built a company, built a lot of evidences, and then published a book which has full of evidences of how testing can drive growth. However, I realized in this journey that it's only can be done by a few Ethan Hunts. But for the world to be able to be scalable, we need a combination of technology and human. So I want to move from, even if you look at Ethan Hunt, he's complemented a lot by technology. If you remove technology from Ethan Hunt, you will see fracture, hospitalization, and death. Right? If you remove technology from Tony Stark, you will see fracture, hospitalization, and death. Similarly, in what really I am excited about Gen AI, I'm excited in a very different way from the world. Gen AI is an absolute good way to complement the Ethan Hunts or the budding Ethan Hunts or even the generic testers who are coming in to test. How? A lot of good points covered by the speakers, before. And one of the slides of, Vivek had high profitability, longer time, lifetime value of customers. I think that there is a lot of data available in production systems. So the new age AI can connect to those systems and can complement and can generate more meaningful tests that really impact the growth of the company, can assess the impact of the bugs, and that's essentially how, Gen AI can be put to a way better use. So that's something that we're doing in our product called, Bugasura. However, for me, what's the reason for me to come? To promote myself? No. I was excited about Avo for one reason. Me being Ethan Hunt, I was talking to Vidur and team, and they were talking about automation, and I'm like, I've heard many of these pitches. I didn't tell you, but I was like, I've heard many of these pitches. And then suddenly they said something which sparked my interest, which is about impact analysis, part of it. So I'm curious to go check out what kind of impact analysis, they are doing, and they're going to build out of it. And that impact analysis as well is something that can help drive growth. So for me, I think this, while the whole organizations, everyone can get distracted with technology. Now, whatever technology is on your phone, aren't you more distracted? Okay, aren't you more distracted? If you're more distracted, so more and more technologies that's going to come, we are not effectively changing anything unless we drive growth. So to me, my future, the future of testing, everything is interlinked to growth. So for all of us, what do we need to think about, today and in the future, is whatever you're doing. You can use whatever tools you want. You have plethora of options today. But how is it really driving growth? How is it really driving growth? Is there a tangible way to measure? Is there a tangible way to link the improved lifetime value to the testing that we're doing? Is there a tangible way to see the increase of revenue because of the testing that we're doing? Is there a tangible way to see that the profitability is improved, that the efficiency is improved in an absolute dollar value? If we're not doing that, it's a notional value. Automation has been a notional value in a lot of companies. So for me, when I speak with Avo team or anybody else, I'm focused on this value and how are they trying to build this out. Okay, and I'm trying to play my best possible role, and that's even the reason why I got the book out, which is to share this with the world and help leaders like you. Leaders like you go back and reinvent and rethink, how is my testing driving growth for my organization? Because if it's not, it might be doing it already, but can you really put a dollar figure to it? The reason is why. Do you know, I worked in like a lot of these large companies, multi-billion-dollar companies like the ones that you're working right now. They had a ton load of money sitting in the profits. And I did not have the necessary test lab setup. You all have been there? You all have been there? If you go to your own staging environment, the developers and the testers are on the same environment, and somebody pushes a code, the whole test setup is gone, and here we are in a billion-dollar company. Who does not have another simulator device for me? Think about it. But if there was a dollar value, if some of my seniors, some of my predecessors had put in a dollar value to it, they would have just said, this is the right way to use the money. So I think that the world is waiting to unlock the value and an absolute direct correlation between testing and growth. And that's the future. Gen AI, whatever is going to come next, is all incidental to this. Is all absolutely incidental to it. So I would request the leaders here to go back, think, and build ways of how is the testing happening in your organizations, and ask important questions to Avo as they're continuing to build their product, to say, how can you help me demonstrate using Avo can improve my thing? Not just to Avo, whatever other tools that you're trying to use. This is a real absolute question, because that helps them build better products for you. That helps me build better products for you. So I would say that is the holy grail we're all chasing without realizing. That's the holy grail that we are chasing. With that, thank you very much.